I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because
Alex Jones throwing up over the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein's files is not something any of us expected, but here we are. I'm Mediaite founding editor Colby Hall, and we are entering week 3 of an Epstein hoax news cycle that President Trump is really eager to see end. But the most vocal critics are not from the, quote, lamestream media. They're from his most loyal supporters in the MAGA media sphere, who've had no shortage of the hottest of hot takes. So here is the top 10 most bonkers MAGA media reactions to the so-called Epstein hoax. Number 10, Candace Owens insists Trump is just a puppet.
But it is very clear that you are not calling the shots on the Jeffrey Epstein debacle, and you're essentially being used to try to control the public reaction to those files not being released. Who is on camera, if anyone, with children? And I think that, I don't think that all of those boxes, as you guys are now saying, was just him downloading, as Pam Bondi said, terrible images of children that he wanted to download in all of these boxes.
But wait, there's more. She also seems to think that Trump doesn't hold his supporters in the highest esteem.
I don't believe that. I don't buy that. Okay. And again, what is happening now is it seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid, or again, because I don't think he's pressing send on these messages, the people around him certainly think that Trump is stupid. And that shouldn't surprise you, given the fact that all of these people were never Trump.
Number 9, Benny Johnson, the biggest Trump sycophant in the world, blames the Trump administration for how poorly this has gone down.
The point I'm trying to make here is that it's the administration and their handling of this, which is why everyone's talking about it. It didn't have to be handled this way. It's been abysmal, and people aren't satisfied, and that's what all available polling shows. And there's so much evidence that the government has that could be released to engage in the pressure release valve. Whether it's weather modification, JFK, Russiagate, as we have, I find it stingingly ironic. Thank you for that article. I find it stingingly ironic that Trump compares all of these things to these hoaxes, and the reason we know they're hoaxes is because evidence was released.
Number 8, Alex Jones almost barfs.
I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because
Why is he on the verge of vomiting? Could it be his integrity?
Because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out. And, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex is sad. MAGA's tearing itself apart. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G, 200 square foot coffin apartment. Look at the left. Look at them all posing with their Pfizer shots, looking like dead zombies. I mean, come on. You guys are sick.
Number 7, Fox News' Laura Ingraham goes there during the Talking Points USA conference.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Number 6, the Charlie Kirk flip-flop. Now, after the Talking Points USA conference, Trump chastised all those that were criticizing his handling of the Epstein files. And guess what? Kirk changed his point of view.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
But after he heard from his angry viewers who wanted him to stay on this, well, guess what? He flip-flopped again 24 hours later.
All we said was that we talked about it a lot over the weekend, and we're going to focus on other stories. The grassroots pressure on this is enormous, and they are hearing your voice. Trust me, all throughout the digital world, it is enormous. And I would love to start to see some material progress on this.
Number 5, Laura Loomer mocking Attorney General Pam Bondi for being addicted to being on Fox News.
For the day, we were promised one thing, and we have not received that promise. So I hope that President Trump will fix this by firing Pam Bondi and committing to have real transparency at the DOJ. If Pam Bondi wants to be his friend or his ally on the outside, great, fine. But we need an attorney general who's going to be a real killer. We need an attorney general who isn't going to lie, who isn't going to be addicted to going on Fox News, and who isn't going to jeopardize midterm elections and cause President Trump to hemorrhage support from the base. I'm not saying that I'm not supporting the president. Of course, I support President Trump.
She's not saying that she no longer supports President Trump over this. She's just saying...
I'm just saying that there are a lot of people online right now and a lot of people in the base who are saying that they're done. That they're done because this is something that shouldn't even be a partisan issue.
Number 4, Megyn Kelly and Ben Shapiro getting absolutely heated over the Epstein blackmail theory.
I have my own sources high up in the law enforcement, let's say, I'll just go that far, who say, not only do we believe he was an agent, but we don't believe he killed himself.
I mean, that's fine. And then they should come out and they should say that. And then they should say who's covering that up. Because
okay, but this is what, Ben, they
proportion.
can't. I mean, there are a lot of people who say they can't, right? They can't because let's look at what the administration is saying right now. They don't want to be the one to cross Trump. Look, my position is let's show us all the evidence so we can come to our own conclusions.
I have names of the people. So I agree with you. That's fine.
Number 3, Benny Johnson showing real-time cognitive dissonance after reading that Trump wanted him and his friends to stop talking about the things that he was so eager to talk about.
By admitting that the Epstein files are real and have been written and that you've read them and you don't like their contents and they were written by your enemies, doesn't make the most compelling case as far as I'm concerned. Holy moly.
Holy moly indeed. Number 2, Liz Wheeler has some insight on what's really going on with Pam Bondi.
The only explanation that I can think of, and this is an explanation that is based on a pattern of Pam Bondi's behavior, is that she wasn't telling the truth. Not necessarily because she's corrupt and trying to hide the contents of the Epstein files, but because she's click thirsty, because she was more interested in making these big promises on Fox News, being a Fox News star and a mega champion.
Not telling the truth. Didn't think of that. How's that working out?
And she got out over her skis, promising things that she hadn't verified. And that's the root of this week. I said, listen, if I'm President Trump, I am looking at what Attorney General Pam Bondi has done to the base. He has lost his administration, even though he had nothing to do with this. His administration has lost a tremendous amount of goodwill with voters because people care viscerally about the Epstein files.
And number 1, you said you wanted more Alex Jones, and who am I to deny you? Here he is lashing out at Trump, telling him and others like him that if they don't shut the F up about this Epstein files hoax, he'd be excommunicated.
If you talk about this, I'm going to excommunicate you. Well, you're not the Pope, bro. I mean, you're not speaking from the throne ex cathedra. And plus, I'm not Catholic. So, I think of Catholics, it's just, give me a break. Anyone who disagrees with anything I say is banished. And I'm not saying Trump land is a cult. The Democrats are the cult of hating reason and logic and common sense. But when Trump starts behaving like that, it starts getting into cult territory.
Cult territory indeed. Again, this is all a fascinating thing to watch unfold. It's the first time that I can recall Trump ever getting attacked politically from the right flank and not the left, which just goes to show that this is not a problem that's just going to go away, because many in its most hardcore, loyal MAGA media sphere consuming base have been spun up to believe this conspiracy. And if he and his fellow sort of DOJ appointees at the FBI and Pam Bondi say that there's no there, they're just going to automatically see it as a cover-up. Now, of course, since then, he's demanded the release of more files and insisted that this is all a hoax that was cooked up by James Comey, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, the Dems, Crooked Hillary. None of that makes sense. But what it does do is it does keep it in the news. Then, of course, Wall Street Journal put out a big story on Friday about an inappropriate letter that he had apparently sent to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. He's suing the Wall Street Journal, and guess what that means? It means that because Wall Street Journal and Fox News share the same corporate owner, guess who's not going to be able to talk about this? Fox News primetime hosts will surely keep their powder dry and no longer talk about this, making a way less effective legal pursuit for President Trump. Again, I'm Mediaite founding editor Colby Hall. Please click the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.